Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for Budget Crafting Week 22. And today we are going to make something that you might be able to use for Christmas. But first I wanted to show you, I forgot to sample when we were doing the painted fabric last week. I forgot to show you how it works with just watercolors. Now these are watercolors, they have a little bit of mica powder in them. And so I had painted these, but then I forgot to show you how to, how it works. I just used a regular paintbrush with kind of a bit of a heavy tip. And I did it on dry fabric and I did it on wet fabric. So, and then I also did on the denim. This is more like a cotton, and this is like a cotton denim. This is a thinner cotton. And I did it without water and with water. So I forgot to tell you, if you want to dye your fabrics, even watercolor paints work. And they don't have to be shimmery. It's just what I had around. So anything that you have with color, don't forget that just try it. Can't hurt anything. Try it on a small sample and, you'll have it. So I made a couple of little spools to put the thread on, or whatever, string. Couldn't think of it. So I went ahead and I put the string on the spool. So now I've got that to use and it's nice and handy. So that's how those turned out. They lightened up quite a bit, some of them. And, but they're just really cool and I love the texture of them. And I thought that we would undo this one together. It has been a week and a half since this has been drying, but it was pretty dry the next day. It wasn't completely dry the next day, but and some people suggested using a hair dryer or a heat gun to dry it. And a hair dryer would probably work. It would help. It's just very thick and heavy, so I don't know how well it would get down to the inside layers. But a heat gun, I think, would melt the rubber bands and they would just come off and then you'd kind of lose your look. So, but yes, I think a hair dryer would work just fine. It might just take a while. So you just take off all the rubber bands and then it's going to be darker on the outside than it is on the inside. The further in it gets, the lighter it will get. But we're just going to reveal what it looks like. And see, here's the end of our outside, and then we've already changed to a really light, like lavender color. And that's why you don't want to get it too thick, because you could get to the point where at the end there's no color whatsoever. But this is actually a really beautiful color. It doesn't look like it's showing up as much on the camera here, but that is a gorgeous light color. And then it gets a little bit darker for the second layer, and then much darker for the top layer. So you wind up with this beautiful, and you can straighten it out, but it will pretty much go back to its nice wrinkly state. If you want to open it up and keep it opened up, because then you see all of that. Let's do it with the dark color. You really see the contrast between all of the different layers. You can iron it and it will iron back flat again. Put something on top of it so that you don't get the color on your iron, like some parchment paper or something. But it really is. It's fun to play with. It's fun to use. And I just love making colored fabric that way. So that's the end of that one. And today's project. Okay, so today we are going to make, I thought with Christmas coming up, I was making some of these for a craft fair I have to go to. And I thought this is a fun, easy way to give a little gift at Christmas time, maybe for somebody at work, a stocking stuffer, a tuck in an envelope. But it's a little matchbook. And when you open it up, it has a pair of earrings in it. And you can do earrings or you can do a necklace. You can put in there whatever you want. You could put a little gift certificate in there, or even a sticker if you're giving it to some, you got some little kids and want to give them a sticker. But you can put in there whatever will fit. It's got to be pretty flat and pretty small, and you could also adjust the size for this and make it any size you wanted to. But I'm going to show you how to make this. Super simple, super quick, And I think today's video is probably going to be pretty short. So I have the dimensions here. So it is, and you can pause this and write it down, you know, if you need to, if I go too fast. But so for the outside cover, it is 2 inches by 5¼ inches. And you want to use like a cardstock, something that's a little bit heavier. You don't want regular paper. Then once you've cut that, you want to score it at 2 inches and 2½ inches and 4¾ inches. And then we're just going to fold it at all of those score lines. So we have the whole thing 2 inches by 5¼ Then we scored it at 2 inches, which is this fold. We scored it at 2½ inches here. We scored it at 4¾ inches, which is right here. So you're just going to fold this up and fold these down and then put a little staple in the bottom, but you're not going to put the staple in yet because we need to make the little mat for our earrings that's going to hold our earrings. So the mat is 1¾ inches wide and 2 inches minus a sliver. I cut them 2 inches and then I take a pair of scissors and just trim a little bit off, so that it doesn't catch in the fold. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut those. And then the topper, let me do that really quick too. The topper for it is 1¾ by 1¾ And then you can do whatever you want with that. You can stamp on it or paint on it or so many different things you can do. So we need 5¼ and I'm going to kind of need my ruler here. 5¼ is going to be right there. Okay, they don't have to be totally perfect either. So you can always trim a little bit. Okay, so 5¼ I'm going to line it up to that mark I made. And like I said, if you want to have a bigger one, you could just fold this one and you'd have a great big one. To me, it doesn't really look as much like a matchbox that way, or a matchbook. Okay, by 2. Although younger generation probably doesn't even know what a matchbook looks like because I haven't seen them in years. Okay, so now that we have that done, we are going to cut our inside mat. And that too should be a piece of cardstock. So this is just an old file folder. But so that it will hold the weight of the earrings or the necklace, whatever you decide to put in it. So this is going to be 1¾ by 2 inches, less a sliver. Okay, so that's going to go on the inside. And then we need a mat for the outside, and those are 1¾ by 1¾ So I just grabbed whatever was on the top in my scrap pile that I have right here. I think I want this bit right here is a little bit lighter. I think we'll go for that because it's awfully dark. So 1¾ by 1¾ And there we go. So now we can just put all of our scraps away and grab our scoreboard. All right, so the first thing we'll score is, the easiest way for me is to do the matchbox part first. So I'm going to score it at 2 inches. That's our cover. Then 2½ inches. That makes the top fold, the top of the matchbook. And then 4¾ is for the little lip that we fold up for the bottom. So there, that's all scored and ready to go. And that's all the scoring that we need to do. And if you don't have a scoreboard, you don't have to have one. I made 50 of them, so it was nice to have a scoreboard. But I've made them before without one, so. And then we're just going to fold all of those score lines. We are going to take our, and I have this. There's no need to have this, but it's what I have out here right now. So you can even just poke a hole with your awl or with your pokey tool, whatever you call them. But we're just going to poke a small hole in the top, just down about a quarter of an inch or so. They don't have to be, I don't really have a measurement for these. I just kind of do them. But so we do it just like that, and then it's all ready to put your earrings in. So we're going to take this and we are going to put it inside of our, why did that not work out right? Two and a half. This is longer. Why? Because I don't think it should be. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well then, our little inside piece needs to be cut at 2 1/4 up and down by 1 3/4. So I'm going to change that on here. 2 1/4. And maybe mine is just a little bit. All right, so let's just cut another one quick. Is that? Here's the piece we had left. Oh, couldn't figure out what I did with this. So, you know, that stuff happens sometimes. Like I said, I just made like 50 of them, and I still didn't do it right. There we go. Let's see how that's going to fit in there. Okay, that's 2 1/4, but I'm going to go less a little bit. Did I do this one at... I don't know what I did. Okay. 2 1/4 less just a little bit. And then we're going to put a little hole in it. Now, what I'm going to do this time is I am going to put the little holes in it. And then I'm going to show you what to do to use this for a necklace instead of... I'm going to put these fairly close to the corner, these holes. Okay. So now I've got the holes fairly close to the corner, and then what you do is just take your scissors and go in and cut from the corner to that circle. So we just made a little cut here, just right there from the corner down to the circle. And what that does is that gives you a place to hang a necklace instead of earrings. So now we will take this, we will put it in here, fold this up, and then staple it at the bottom, which I have lost my stapler. It was just here. Oh, here it is. I'll tell you, it's been really busy. It's getting that time of year where I've got a lot of different things going on. Okay, so we're just going to staple it pretty close to the bottom. You want to make sure that you catch this, but you don't want to come up too far where you have a hard time folding the top in. So, and then we're just going to glue on something of interest on the front. So, and if you're mass making them, it's nice to have them like cut where you can just put them on there, instead of, if you're making individual ones, I think it's really nice to do something maybe different and special. So if you're making a lot of them, then it's nice to have just a measurement and just cut them all and then maybe stamp them or something and then get them glued on there. But if you're making it as an individual gift for someone, you know, it's like a twinchy or an inchy. And, you know, you just make a little piece of art and put it on there. And that makes it even more special for whoever you're giving it to. Well, and I actually did use just double-sided tape to stick them on when I made so many. You don't have to glue it on. You can use double-sided tape. I'm just going to center that on there. And then maybe that's too big. I have a few stamps out here for Thursday's video, but it might be nice to put a little stamp. I have a little, I call it a lotus flower. I don't really know if it is or not, but does it say? It doesn't say. I'm going to kind of put it on an angle, give it a press, hold it there, give it a chance to soak into your paper before you remove it. Because a lot of times we just press and lift and then we wind up with a bad stamp, and it wasn't for any reason other than the ink didn't have time to soak into your paper. So there we go. Now we've got that cute little flower on there, and maybe take a little bit of a white ink pen and a white paint pen. Now if you don't have a white paint pen, at the Dollar Tree, we bought some little white correction pens. They were to correct, like for typing or whatever. And that's what we used for the white pens. We got 2 of them for $1. So you don't have to go out and spend a whole bunch of money to get the white pens, because a lot of times the white pens are not cheap. And pretty much the ones that I have gotten from like garage sales or whatever. I don't think that I've really actually bought one of these white pens at a craft store, because they're just so expensive. I can't bring myself to do it. So there we go. Just kind of decorate that up just a little bit to give it a little more interest. And then I'll show you how to put a necklace in there. This was a quick and easy one. We might be having a few quick ones for a while, because I just really do have a lot to do. But you just take your necklace and put it right about where you want it, and then just hold it there. And then tuck your chain in on each side, and then just kind of let that gather up behind your thing. And I think I want to bring that up just a little bit. Oh, and then also what you can do too, because necklaces like to, especially if they're kind of heavy, turn that a little harder on, they want to pull the chain down. So take just a little piece of Scotch tape, which I don't have any here right now, and just put a little piece of Scotch tape on the back right here after you get it where you want it. And then that will hold your necklace in place so that it will stay there instead of pulling all of the chain through to the front. I forgot that part because I don't usually do necklaces, but there we go. That's just a simple, easy way for a nice little stocking stuffer, a tuck-in gift, you know, a gift for whoever, you know. I like these, and I like to give them out around this time of year, and because they're so easy to do and everything, it just makes and also I can carry them with me easy because they're nice and small. So I hope that you liked this project. I really enjoy making these. Again, like I said, I think they're so easy. And if you wind up where you've got earrings, these ones really aren't, but, you know, I have some where the earrings kind of hang down, like all the way down to here when I put them in there. Oh, and stamping the back of this is fun too. You know, just give it a little interest. And if you don't have, you know, yes, this has a script stamp, but if you don't have that, remember, wad up a piece of paper, dab it on there, give it some interest. Or with the necklace, being that the necklace leaves this big opening here, you could stamp something, an actual little focal point right there if you wanted to. But if your earrings or your necklace is too long, if your necklace is too long, shorten it up and tape it in the back. That's the best way to do it because you want them to be able to see it right there. The earrings you really can't do that with. They're going to hang wherever they hang. So just when they're too long, if they're hanging way down here, just slide them up just a little bit like that. And then tuck it in and bring it down like this. They'll stay in there nicely, and then when the people open it up, they'll hang down the rest of the way. And so, the first few times I did it, I thought these earrings are too big, these earrings are too big. It was hard to make some earrings that are smaller, than that. So, yeah, I figured out they don't have to fit above that line. Just let them slide up a little bit, tuck it in, you're good to go. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.